Hi, God. Thanks for the shine. Okay, so check this out. Right, we're gonna do a morning bit real quick. Low key. No. Go sit. Go sit. Go sit. Okay, go. Down. All right, so we're going to do a morning bit right here. And then what we're going to do is a notice, right? We're going to read a notice and we're going to put it out there online so that that way everyone can hear what these words sound like, right? But then this notice is going to be in the description link, right? So you go down into the description, right? So if you're a man, if you're a woman, right, and you hear these words that are coming from my mouth right now, and then you're going to have a duty and an obligation now to click the link in the description, go to the job form, read the words. If you agree with them, fill them out, and then send them off to our public servants, right? Because we're putting our public servants in check. That's all we do right now, right here. Let me show you what it looks like on the phone, right here. Check this out. Right. So that's what it looks like on the phone, right? So this is how I'm going to do this bit right here is that I'm going to read it from the phone, right? Because this is how we are now. We're in the mobile world, right? So I got the rig set up where the camera's in front of me. It's on a tripod. I got my laptop over here set up, and then on the laptop I have order, right? Remember, we always had to do a timeout, right? So order. Remember this. God created the world. Check. God created man, aka the people. Check. Right? People created states. Check. People created constitutions. Check. People created governments. Check. Question. When did government become boss of the people? So we're always looking for to answer this one, right? And then this is why we do this right now, right? So you have to remember that I got this sort of kind of flow form right here because I was in surgery. I worked in healthcare for a super long time, and it was all about process and procedure. Process and procedure. Why? Because we were working on the body, right? And then you didn't want to make mistakes, right? So you always wanted to have a checklist. So you went off that checklist, right? They also got this checklist from the airplanes, right? So when you got an airplane and then it takes off, every pilot has to go down the checklist, right? So we do the same thing right now because I am the pilot of this vessel called the body, right? This is where God lives in, and the Spirit lives in, and then Christ lives in it, right? They all live in this vessel right here, right? And then we have conversations all day long, man, right? Now we just get to talk with all the people because we know that they have the same inside of them too, right? We're just all at different stages, man. It's just so much fun. I love this world, right? But this is what we're doing right now, right? Because God gave man dominion over the whole realm, right? We have dominion over everything, right? It says it in the Bible because then that's where you have to read the law from, right? So once you realize that man, woman, child, we have dominion over everything, we have a huge duty and we have a huge responsibility, and we are obligated to make sure that we administer God's kingdom properly, right? It sounds like a joke, but it's not a joke, man. I mean, this is serious, man. I mean, there's a hierarchy. Remember, God's on top, man, woman, child, people number 2 in command, right? And then we control everything else, right? So we have to administer everything else, right? So we wrote the constitutions for our public servants so then that way that they can manage, our commercial markets for us. So then that way, crazy things don't happen, right? But every now and then we always have to go back to first principles because sometimes our public servants tend to think that they're our leaders, right? Or sometimes our public servants try to trick us with the words, and then they try to act like that we're in some type of form of government, like democracy, right? So that's what this notice is about right here, right? So we're gonna read this one, because this one is fire, man. So remember, you gotta fill this one out, man. Seriously, right? You gotta get in there and you gotta fill this out. You gotta do the work, okay? All right, so check this out. Here we go with the words. Me. Let me have a sip of tea. Let me have a sip of tea first, right? It's the morning time. Excuse me. Oh, man, so much fun. Also, it's like gonna rain out here because I'm in Cali right now. And then, we've had this storm watch that's coming right now, and then it's coming and we see the water's already dripping from the sky. So that's cool. So we're gonna have some weather out here. So much fun. All right, so here we go. Let's go. Notice to demand that all trustees cease and desist from describing our form of government as a democracy. Seriously. Notice to agent is notice to principal, and notice to principal is notice to agent. Let's go. Here we go. I, one of the people of the 50 American states, Republican in form, as seen in the Texas Constitution, Article 1, Section 2, sui judice, am serving you with this notice that you and your agents may provide due care as the trustees and servants of the people. Okay? All right, let's keep it going. Please take notice that all trustees of the people took an oath you swore to protect and defend all 50 state constitutions and our federal constitution. That's a fact. That oath includes accepting, guaranteeing, and preserving a Republican form of government. See evidence below. I love these, right? It builds up. It's so much fun. All political power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on the people's authority and instituted for their benefit. The faith of the people of Texas stands pledged to the preservation of a Republican form of government and subject to this limitation only. They have at all times the inalienable, you can't take them away, right to alter, reform, or abolish their government in such manner as they may think expedient. Texas Constitution, Article Section 2. All right, we got to fix that one, right? The United States shall guarantee to every state in the Union a Republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion. United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. That's a fact, man. That's why you always got to read your constitutions. These constitutions are real, man. They're contracts that all of our public servants have signed, man. All public servants, that includes corporations and businesses, okay? Let's keep it going. Please take notice that throughout our constitutions, our form of government is referred to as a republic. That's a fact, right? And nowhere in those trust/contracts is there mentioned either a democratic form of government or a democracy. That's true, right? In addition, the constitutions clearly state power existing through a majority of the citizens doesn't exist within our republic. That's a fact, which is precisely what is found in a democracy/democratic government. See evidence below. I love these see evidences below. Absolute and arbitrary power over the lives, liberty, and property of free men exists nowhere in a republic. Fact. Not even in the largest majority. Kentucky Constitution, Article 1, Section 2. Democracy that form of government in which the sovereign power resides in and is exercised by the whole body or a free citizen, as distinguished from a monarchy, aristocracy, or an oligarchy. Black's Law Dictionary, 3rd edition. Just keep it going. Please take notice that the people declared our inherent and inalienable rights found in the 51 Declaration and Bill of Rights are accepted out of government jurisdiction and should forever remain inviolate, right? Don't mess with them, don't touch them, right? Should any legislature or rulemaking be enacted which would abrogate these rights, it would be considered null and void, done, right? We also are aware that the Supreme Court has affirmed this declaration. See evidence below. I love these. To guard against the transgressions of the higher power or of the high powers herein delegated, we declare that everything in this Bill of Rights is accepted out of the general powers of government and shall forever remain inviolate, and all laws contrary thereto or to the following provisions shall be void. Texas Constitution, Article 1, Section 29. Oh my God, let's keep it going, right? Where rights secured by the Constitution are involved, there can be no rulemaking or legislation which would abrogate them. Miranda v. Arizona, 384 U.S. 436 1966. Look it up. That's a fun case, right? Please take final notice. Here we go. Mic drop. Right. Please take final notice that the trustees of the people have not been granted the authority to change or attempt to change the form of government the people establish. Any attempt to persuade, deceive, or convince the people that their form of government is democratic in form would be considered a trespass against the people of the 50 American states. That's a fact. Therefore, it is my wish, order, and demand that all all trustees and government agents stop referring to our form of government as a democracy and refer to it as a republic. If you believe the people's trustees have been granted the authority to arbitrarily change our form of government, please provide those constitutional provisions within 5 days by affidavit sworn under penalty of perjury. Do it, okay? Failure to respond by affidavit in the allotted time frame means that you agree by acquiescence that all statements in this notice are true and fact, and that you are willingly deceiving the people with full intent, knowledge, and malice. This notice is sent to you with the love of Christ so that you may provide due care to the people. Okay, so then you got your name, then you got your autograph, then you got the date, then you put your address down, right? Then you put your phone number down if you wish, right? Then you put your email address down, right? So this notice to demand that all trustees cease and desist from describing our form of government as a democracy is going to the U.S. House of Representatives, all members. Is going to the U.S. Senators, all members. Right? Is going to the Supreme Court of the U.S., all members. Is going to the President of the United States. Okay. Also, you might want to add in whatever state that you come from, right? Add in that state, right? Like example, I'm in California. I will add in the people in California, all of our public servants in California, because our public servants in California are just like, they got a problem, man. They're always calling, this place a democracy. And then even in the flag, I'm like, these people aren't that smart, because our state flag doesn't even say democracy. It says California Republic, right? So I'm just like, is there something up with the people out here? I mean, like, honestly, like, before I met the people in this group, like before I met my man David Jose and all these things, right? Like I didn't have any knowledge of what the difference was between a republic and a democracy. I just thought it was just government, right? And then I thought that the government were just like, those are the people that you elect to go do work for us, right? Which is still the same. But I never understood, like, how is it that we elect these people and then when they go into office, nothing changes. Nothing changes. Like the roads are still poop, right? The schools are still poop. The healthcare systems are still poop, right? What else is happening? Taxes are just ridiculous, right? They keep saying, we need more money. And then we give them more money, but then there's no improvement, right? So I'm just like, now that I know that they're supposed to handle the people's business, and then now that I know that they're not handling the people's business because the people were asleep, hi, we're awake now. Hi, I'm one of the people. Right, now that we're awake now, and then now that we know that we're the boss of all governments, it's just like, oh, this is going to be cool, man. Because we understand that there's a hierarchy, right? We understand that God's on top, man, woman, child, the people are number 2 in command, and then we control everything else. It's just like the military, right? In the military, there's a hierarchy. You got to listen to the commander in chief. You got to listen to whoever's the ones in charge. The ones in charge of me is God, right? The one that's in charge of me is Christ. The one that's in charge of me is Holy Ghost, right? So all of that's my squad. They command me, and now they say, get out there and you better put that dominion in order. And I'm like, okay, got it good, God. I'm gonna hop on it, right? And this is what we do now, right? The objective's easy, right? It's just if all laws don't trace back to love and it doesn't get back to love, right? Then that means there's no law, no good, no go, right? Because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to love God with all your heart, with all your soul, and on your mind. Done. Simple. That's easy, right? Then you're supposed to love your neighbor like you love yourself, right? Which is how you love God, right? So that's it. That's where all the laws come from. Like, and if you can't understand that, we're going to have to correct you, and we're going to have to instruct you, and then we'll have to put it down for you in some type of form that you understand, like a notice or an affidavit, that says that, these are the rules. This is the rule of the realm. This is how it goes. This is where the power comes from. The people are in control of everything. The people are the boss of everything. And if you think that you're the boss of something, you better show us in and you put it on paper, swear under penalty of perjury that you have power over we the people. You better swear, right? And if you can't swear, you need to shut up, go sit in a corner, stop being a bad small master. I'm sorry if that sounds aggressive. It's just real, man, because we're hearing all of our public servants go on the screen and go, blah, 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 our democracy, blah, 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 our democratic values, right? We're even watching the old president, talk about democracy, right? I'm just like, what's happening, man? I'm like, these people, right? But then this is what they do. So when they want to program someone and then they want to put a new idea in their mind, it's called repetition. That's why we always do the timeout. That's why we always show what the order of the realm is, right? That's why I always say God, man, woman, child, the people, right? And then we control everything else. Repetition. Instead of saying democracy, they need to start saying Republican form. And then once you guys do that, we'll be cool, man. It's really easy. Just change the words, right? So whoever's writing your conversations or your speeches for you, remove the word democracy, because that's a no-go, right? No-go, no-show. Don't do it, right? If you do it, we're going to see you. We're going to hit you for treason. We're going to hit you for war. We're going to hit you for maladministration, right? That's it. Deprivation of rights under the color of law. We can do that now, man. Scary simple, right? So, that's it, man. Let's go ahead and do our time out. Time out. Okay, order. Remember, God created the world. Check. Remember, God created man, aka the people. Check. AKA the people. Check. Remember, people created states. Check. Remember, people created constitutions. Check. Question. When did the government become boss of the people? Answer. Never. Ever. The people have always been the bosses of the governments now. Now we're awake. Now we know what's up. Now you know what's up. So go ahead, hit that link in the description, fill out that Jotform, be the boss, man. It's stupid simple now. I'll see you in the future. Remember, nobody's having more fun than us. Bye.